Welcome to Special Stage Extra. I hope you're really enjoying this new series that we've got lined up for you. We're really getting under the skin of UK club rallying, and the feedback we're getting from you, the competitors and the rally fans has been great, so thank you for that. You can always get in touch, by the way, during the show on Twitter. Our team will be happy to answer any questions and get involved talking about the rallies that we're covering in this episode. And talking of which, we're covering the Tour of Hamsterley, and we're also catching up with action from the Scottish and Welsh Rally Championships and a whole host of other top rally action from around the UK. Enjoy this.
Round 2 of the ARR Craig Scottish Rally Championship, the Brick and Steel Border Counties Rally, started once again from Jedburgh with just under 100 crews ready to tackle the 5-stage event. With most of the overnight snow having been cleared by the front-running two-wheel drive cars, it was David Bogie and Kevin Ray who took the early lead with a time 9 seconds quicker than anyone else on stage 1 and 6 seconds on stage 2. Snowman winners Ewan Thorburn and Paul Beaton were next up after a slow puncture on stage 1 left them trailing the reigning champions. Having retired on stage 1 in this event every time since 2005, Jock Armstrong was extremely happy to arrive at first service in third place and best non-WRC car. "11 seconds back and tied on time were the two Evos of Quentin Milne and Mike Faulkner. Milne wasn't happy with the new suspension setup of his car, while Faulkner felt he was still adapting to the move to Pirelli tyres. In Class 2, Scott Macbeth was surprised to arrive at first service in the lead. An electrical fault, restricting his engine to only 4,000 RPM.
150, 150, crash 70, crash 70.
After a slow puncture on stage 1, Derek Connell and Laura Marshall were 24 seconds down on the Blue Nova in their Vauxhall Corsa. After retiring on the Snowman, Ian Haining and Marie Riddick were back with a new engine out of a scrapped Vauxhall Astra. They arrived at first service with a healthy Class 3 lead at the 205 GTI of Charles Blair and Mark Roberts. With their long-standing electrical problems apparently cured, Jim Robertson and Colin Maxwell took the early lead in Class 4. They were only 2 seconds up on junior driver Greg McKnight on only his second event in his new Mark II Escort. David and Douglas Cameron were the only registered Class 5 crew, but were enjoying a good battle with the similar Mark II Escort of Ian Hurd. The Class 6 Escort of Steve Bannister and Louis Sutherland were just over 30 seconds up on their nearest class rival and involved in a fierce battle for top two-wheel drive honours. Only 3 seconds down on Bannister after stage 1, John McIlwraith lost a large chunk of time in stage 2, but retained second in class. Pace setter in Class 7 on the Snowman, Graham Chernerville and Michael Hendry were looking forward to the border until this example of precision parking on stage 1 left them stranded. This left Callum Atkinson in control of the class on his first event in the Fiesta. Robert Harkness and Mike Curry took the Class 9 lead early on, happy to have two-wheel drive this time out. They were trailed by the Chevette HSR of Colin Aitchison by about 40 seconds at this stage. Finally happy with his engine and his Evo 9, Andrew Gallagher took the Class 10 lead and set about challenging the overall top 10. Fraser Wilson and Jane Nichol were less than 20 seconds behind at service after discovering the rear tyres were on back to front on the first 2 stages. On to the second half of the day and Class 2. Derek Connell and Laura Marshall consolidated their position to take second, despite getting stuck behind a slower car in the final stage. Despite the electrical issues, Scott Macbeth and Ashley Will stretched their advantage to 54 seconds by the end of the event to take Scott's second class win of the year. Charles Blair and Mark Roberts gradually fell back from the Class 3 leaders throughout the second half of the day, but were happy with top 205. They finished over 2 minutes down on Ian Haining's Nova, despite the rear hub working loose, causing some interesting handling characteristics. Greg and Chris McKnight held on to second in Class 4 in their Escort, preferring a steady finish rather than pushing on. This opened the door for reigning champions Ian Wilson and Keith Fremantle to charge through to the class win, taking 18 seconds out of the yellow Escort on the final stage. David and Douglas Cameron survived the snow to take the Class 5 honours in their first outing this season. John McIlwraith maintained his steady pace to grab second in Class 6. He wasn't able to challenge runaway class leaders Steve Bannister and Louise Sutherland, who took the class by almost 4 minutes, as well as scooping top two-wheel drive honours. After the demise of the Chernobyl Civic, Callum Atkinson and Keith Riddick had it all to themselves in Class 7, happy just to learn the new car in the slippy conditions. After the Harkness BMW retired with transmission problems, Colin Aitchison took the Class 9 win in the Chevette HSR. Fraser Wilson and Jane Nichols secured second place in Class 10 at the finish. Taking the class win by 57 seconds, along with 5th SRC crew overall, Andrew Gallagher and Phil Sandham proved the capability of the car now that their engine issues were behind them. Missing from the leaderboard after the final stage were Mike Faulkner and Peter Foy after his visit to a ditch left the mum damaged but out of the event. Over a minute up on Gallagher at the finish, Quentin Milner and Martin Forrest secured fourth. Quentin still confused a little about his suspension setup. Jock Armstrong and Paula Swinsko finished 9 seconds up the road after backing off slightly to secure the finish after their snowman retirement.
It's the best result I could ever hope for in this rally, yeah. 2009 was the last time I was on here at anywhere near the podium, so today's been fantastic. So no, it worked in well. Really tricky rally, but the rally was run well, you know, for front wheel drive cars going first. I thought there'll be delays, we'll get cold, you know, but no, every stage seemed to run just about on time. So
taking second in the points but maintaining their championship lead were Ewan Thorburn and Paul Beaton, happy for the results but unimpressed with their stage times.
Yeah, obviously first stage getting a slow puncture put us on the back foot right from the word go. So yeah, we just had a difficult day today. Conditions have been quite slippy in places. We had a spin on stage 4 installed, so after that really it was just trying to get through stage 5, and it was quite rough in the end. So yeah, we've had quite a bad day, but we've got second place, so it can't be too bad. We can't complain. Still leading the championship, so yeah, we'll build up from here.
Runaway leaders by over 50 seconds at the finish, David Bogie and Kevin Ray survived the last stage scare with a flickering oil light to bounce back after their disappointing snowman result and jump into second in the championship points.
The days went well. I think we're fastest in 5 out of 5 stages, so really happy with the pace. No moments, just a really good rally. Difficult conditions, but still very enjoyable.
Still to come on the show, we head to Yorkshire for the tour of Hamsterley and to Wales for the Lawrence Lanfield Dale stages, as well as the next round of the Pirelli Welsh Rally Championship.